Hello everyone. It's been quite a while since my last video. Oh no. The reason being is, and I'm gonna level with you here and not make up some bullshit excuse, I've been struggling with a fun little thing called procrastination. And it's quite a time to be had, I'll tell you what. And that, mixed with high school starting back up, just hasn't left me a whole lot of time for YouTube. Anyway, I'd like to apologize for my absence. I am back with this new video. And without further ado, I'll give you the long-awaited history of FNaF Ransomware. Enjoy. I'm sure most of us have played a free version of a game before, whether it be from a shady website that had obviously pirated the game, or a weirdly good scratch port. It's almost like a rite of passage for people who are new to the internet. Hey, I'm no exception. I used to do this all the time when I was an infant using the old family PC running Windows 7. And yes, I attempted to install free Minecraft, and I did not end up receiving the game. Instead, I got a fun little Trojan virus. But enough about me being an idiot as a kid. Today, I'm talking about a niche that has exploded in popularity quite recently. A dangerous computer virus known as ransomware. More specifically, FNaF Ransomware. Unlike some of the stories I'm talking about today, ransomware is a very real virus and a potential threat to uneducated users on the internet. It's a type of malicious software that encrypts your personal files on your PC and prevents you from accessing any of them, or even your computer itself, until you pay the attacker X amount of dollars. Hence the name ransomware. Because, well, it literally holds your computer for ransom. If you fail to pay the attacker in a certain amount of time, your computer is either destroyed, your files are deleted, or, sometimes both. Attackers may also threaten to leak the data as well. This type of virus can infect your device using the Trojan horse method, which, for those who don't know, is an application, program, or link which is disguised as something completely harmless, like FNaF, and misleads users of its true intent. The virus in question is usually found on shady websites offering a paid game for free, or emails asking you to click a link. Hell, I bet like 90% of you have a weird email in your spam folder with some kind of virus attached to it. Oh yeah, and a simple reminder, please do not click on that link. There is a multitude of bad stuff that can happen, including your personal information being leaked. Circling back to Trojans, once you download the files and run them, it's usually too late. Your computer is no longer able to be saved, and someone out there has every single file contained within your device. So please remember, everything has a cost, and you can't get a paid game for free. If you don't pay for it with money, you'll pay with your data. Honestly, I didn't expect Five Nights at Freddy's of all franchises to have creepypastas that revolve around viruses. Hey, I'm not complaining though. This style of horror is really cool, and it almost reminds me of analog horror, which I love the concept of. The first known appearance of ransomware in the FNaF community is none other than the infamous Stingray Virus, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with, and it's probably the reason you clicked on this video. Unfortunately, it is now considered lost media, but according to my expert researching skills and many Aptoid users, which is an APK app store for cheap mobile devices. Think of it as the Google Play Store, but with no security. Users claimed the game was just disguised as a free version of the mobile version of FNaF 2. It didn't even have the creepy icon I'm sure you've all seen on thumbnails. It was just the normal FNaF 2 icon, and nothing about it actually seemed suspicious. The only thing that was weird was the uploader of the app was actually not Scott Cawthon, but somebody by the name of Stingray followed by Arabic text that translates to "is watching." It is said to have existed around 2015 at the height of FNaF's popularity, when it was still relatively new and seemed to target younger fans who weren't able to pay for the actual game. When you download the game and open it, your device is already having its data stolen as you progress. If/when you finally beat Night 5 and get the paycheck, you will be met with a jump scare of Withered Chica with her eyes hollowed out. After this, it's over for your device. All of your data will be stolen and stored, and then your phone or tablet will be met with a factory reset. It is definitely up for debate whether or not this was a real downloadable virus at one point or just a giant hoax, but there's definitely evidence pointing towards the latter. There are several screenshots of pieces of code that was found in the virus, and it was found it does indeed use FNaF 2's game files, meaning it used FNaF as a way to trick users into installing it. There is an odd permissions screen, which is definitely something a Five Nights at Freddy's game doesn't need to function on your hardware. And if you're the morbidly curious type, the game can be found on Internet Archive. quick disclaimer, please do not under any circumstances install this game. You put your personal information and your device at risk. Even skimming the files can be considered risky, honestly. If you decide to download it, I am not responsible for anything that may happen to you or your hardware. The game can be found floating around suspicious websites and archives, but as of recording this, it's no longer on the Aptoide store. So, was this a real game, or a real virus at one point? Or was it just a giant internet conspiracy in an attempt to scare users or start a creepypasta? Well, unfortunately, my dear viewer, I don't have a definitive answer to that question. There's proof it exists, and proof that it doesn't. And with how little documentation the game has, it's likely we'll never find the answer. The next virus we'll be talking about today isn't actually real. It's a creepypasta based off of the Stingray concept. The original video showing off the virus was uploaded by a user named Codename Baldy. The video in question starts off like one of those early 2000s videos where the uploader is communicating to the audience through Notepad. They explain they found a free version of FNaF and proceed to open a suspicious looking file. The game starts with a sentence chock full of grammatical errors. The title screen is very poorly made with only 3 buttons: play, optionals, and close. And of course, the title is incorrect, being Five Nights at Freddy's Setties. Wow, what an incredible name. When you load into the game, the 12 AM first night screen pops up. But it's not quite right. It reads, is sin 1/8/23, which I assume is the time and night. The office is a low resolution, very obviously AI generated image with a droning staticky sound effect that doesn't seem to go away. There is only one working camera that depicts another AI generated image of Freddy. Poor guy's missing his top hat, oh no. The player eventually gets jump scared for no apparent reason by Jacko Freddy, who doesn't actually exist, mind you, and after the player dies, a screen pops up with so many more grammatical mistakes, reading, "Hey now, the game has a paid version. Now we show you. Free download link Bitcoin." Yeah, that's not suspicious at all. After this, the screen changes once again, and this cryptic-ass message is displayed on screen that I will not read because I don't know what kind of forces it'll unleash into our world that are beyond our mortal comprehension. SETI's goals are simply beyond our understanding, people. A Bible verse is then briefly shown, and the game force quits. After this happens, the player's wallpaper is no longer the same, now being pitch black before the computer is shut down and restarts itself. When it turns back on, this horrifying image takes up the entire desktop, demanding Bitcoin or they will delete the player's files in an hour. I have to admit, this is a super creepy video, and definitely reminds me of those found footage films. And while it is really convincing and well made, it seems to be, at least I hope so, nothing more than just a creepypasta. FNaF World is by far the least scary game in the series. It's a simple kid-friendly RPG with the FNaF IP slapped onto it. So the fact that somebody made a creepypasta based off this game is actually pretty interesting, and I'm excited to see how it plays out. The footage was uploaded by, forgive me if I butcher this, Kronaz2104. The game starts similarly to how the real FNaF World starts, except it's just a little different. The screen is warped and staticky. Freddy's eyes seem to be glowing orange as well, so that's fun. Is this the Halloween edition? Wow, we finally got the Halloween edition for FNaF World, you guys. The uploader claims that this is the free edition, but isn't FNaF World free already? I could have sworn you can just download that game on GameJolt, right? The player then has a interesting conversation with Fredbear before immediately being teleported to the flip side. As you progress through the flip side and go deeper into the code, the footage depicts the player finding OMC after going too deep, as usual. This, in and of itself, isn't super abnormal, but after you get the OMC ending, you are prompted to play a warped black and white version of Foxy.exe. Once you've beat that, you've presumably beat the game, if you can even call it that, and what follows is a creepy-ass face stares back at you with text reading, "Congratulations," almost taunting you. You are then flashed with an overly saturated image of Spring Bonnie, our bunny buddy, staring into the camera for a few minutes as the screen demanding ransom pops up. This one is definitely much creepier and gives off 2016 creepypasta Lost episode vibes, making it actually one of my favorites. Well, there are certainly a lot of interesting rumors out there, and I honestly wholeheartedly believed the Stingray Virus was very real at one point, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a nerdy teenager on the internet. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The algorithm absolutely loves it when you interact with my videos. With that, have a great rest of your morning/evening/night, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.